Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Before we start, we have a disclosure. Please be careful of future trading. There is a high risk. All our videos are for educational purpose only. You're very welcome to follow any of our automated signal as long as you are on SIM. We're not responsible for your trades. Right now, we on the left upper corner, this is the market analyzer based on one contract, and we on the last entry, not the whole day. Again, it's on the last entry. We have 471 ticks into the profit. The total. You don't need to trade all of them. You can trade ES, Nasdaq, and YM. On the ES, we have 27 ticks. Nasdaq, we have 142 ticks into the profit, and the YM 70 ticks. So you don't need to trade all of it. You can trade the ES, Nasdaq, Dow Jones. On the scalper, we have 837 ticks, now 840 ticks. Based on one contract, the ES nailed 66 ticks, and the Nasdaq nailed 287 ticks on the last entry signal, not the whole day, and the YM 128. So right now on the Nasdaq we have 2600, on the Russell we have 1400, on the YM we have 1300, and on the ES based on one contract we have 878. On the market analyzer, it is both of sides. They are based on one contract, but on the auto trade we are using two contracts, but you can use one contract if you like to. There is no big deal. So let's look at the swing trading right now. We on the swing trading we got 900. We're gonna hit 1,000. This is a very important that the target is is 27.59.50, and followed by a lot of fibs. Maybe we can extend the target manually to 27.55 on that, and we will see how's the outcome on that. And then we can, I don't know if the Nasdaq already hit the target. Yes, the Nasdaq just hit the target, and we close position right at the target, and now profit taken on the target too. So it's finished, the Nasdaq. And the YM, we are about to hit the target. Maybe we extend the target a little bit farther down to the 22.665. So this is a very good start, and from the first trade you are done for today. And let's see if there's anything. No. Okay, so there we go. What you need to do, just manage the trades, and the trailing stops are based on the fib line. So if you are trading, you will see where are the fib line. As an example, the ES on the pullback, we closed one of the position at 27.71.50, and it seems like the ES want to go farther down. Maybe we give it a little bit farther. You can. That's why I like the ATM, because you can extend the target if you like to, and then you turn the scalper to swing trading. The system automatically switch from scalping to swing trading if the market is trending, and then it start extending the target. So that's what we have right now. Oh yeah, and the other system on the auto trades, the other auto trades we have, the TI7, we are on a 4,400 on that trade. And for the DAX today, we only have one chart DAX. We don't have takes, range, Renko. We only have one time frame on the DAX. And the DAX is 4 minutes. And this is the only chart with the DAX. And today nailed 3,412, which is almost the average we are using. Is very consistent. I'm not saying every day it's going to nail the same thing, but it's been very consistent around 3,400 on the DAX. So this is a very good, despite all the European problems. Well, it was short, down all morning. If you look at the DAX, it was down all morning. So, yeah, so it doesn't matter. It is 3,400 on the DAX. And then it is done. And once we hit the target on the DAX lately, I'm not rearm it again and take trades again, because right now is there is a bit thin volume on the DAX because of the crisis. So I'm not getting aggressive with the DAX. So right now, if we have not closed that trade. If you see here on the TI7, there is a 2 stop loss, and the reason is we have separate the trailing stop and the stop loss. We have separate them. They work individual. It's no longer under one algorithm. We made different algorithm for each one of them, and then you have the privilege now, and you can extend your trailing stop, you can extend your target, you can break even if you like to, or if you want to, you can keep it. It is for not everybody. It is unprofessional. We have a lot of professional traders, and they like to interfere with the trade. And for the ones who do not want to interfere, that's very fine. You leave it as is, and it works as supposed to be. But this one here, it is what it is. I mean, you can separate for a different reason. If you wanted to, middle of the trade, increase, decrease, stop loss, trailing stop, and you can add the fibs on it, and then you can also manual trailing stop. Or if you don't want to touch it, most of the guys with full automated don't want to touch anything. If you don't want to touch anything, just leave it as is. Nothing we can do. And then I will show the other ones. We have the NASDAQ on the 2 minutes, also closed position earlier today. And the NASDAQ nailed 3,410. It's almost like the DAX. So that was very good. All of them hit the target practically, and we will cover those as we go. And now we want to keep our eye on those trades. And this is what is the beauty about the signal. And I'm trying very hard to break this habit with the traders, not to sit all day long trying to trade. You start in the morning, 9, 10 o'clock, 8:30, whatever. You should be done by 11 o'clock. Like right now, it is 10 o'clock, and we are already done trading. So, I mean, you're not going to get any more than that, and there's no use to sit down all day long. So you got enough bread to close and walk away from everything right now, right here. you know, sitting all day long trading is not healthy. And what you have right now, it is enough. Some of traders will cannot even dream to make this in 1 week or in 1 month, and some of them, and you nail them in half an hour. So I see no reason for a trader to keep going all day long. There is a good potential in the afternoon you're gonna lose it all. So protect your profit. You made good money. Leave the table, close everything, and try to do something else with your life. It seems like the ES on the 15 second, the scalper, there's a pullback. On the pullback, we closed one position at 27.6975. The major resistance on the 15 second is 27.7250. And as we see here, the NASDAQ right now is pulling back to the 88.8675. This is the first minor resistance. And then the 88.9575, it is the major. And that's why we have the separated the trailing stop, because they are based on fibs. They are not just a dummy trailing stop, 10 ticks and 15 ticks and all this nonsense. I hate dummy trailing stops, because the things is why you are in a hurry to exit out of a winning trade. The reason the amateur traders do that, because they are in the hole and they see $100, $200, and they're happy to get some of the money back, and they don't look at the bigger picture, and the reason is because they are not aware if this market trending or not, because they don't have lines, they don't have fibs, they don't have a proper fibs. Not every fibs work. This is a lot of work to have an accurate fibs. They don't know the destination of that trade, so they use a dummy trailing stop, and immediately on the first pullback, they get out with a probably $100 winning trade or $150 winning trade, and if they are very lucky, the max they get $250 or $300, because this is where between $200 $250. This is where the markets start pulling back, and this is the average for them. So they're not really grabbing $1,000 trade or $1,500 trade as an example. The Russell, the YM, all of them, you can maximize as much as you want. Look at this one now on the NASDAQ. Took the first trade out because it was the minor fib line, and now look where the NASDAQ is stopping. And now it is closed, and you already nailed over $1,500 on the trade with the NASDAQ. Now we are done with the NASDAQ, and now we have the ES. And you can see immediately on the ES is trying to climb to the first resistance line at 27.6875, and then the major is 277.125. You can see it. So if you're happy with a $900 or $1,000, you don't want to wait till this market go all the way down to the target, then close it. That's fine, as long as you don't go back after 5 minutes and take a trade. And this is another example on the YM. We have the two fibs. The minor fib is 22.775, and then the major is 22.797. And as you see right now, this is really technical. If this market did go back and close your position, technically you have maximized your trade on that one. Also, if you are auto trading, this kind of auto trade, and as we see here, look at this. Look at the ES where it come in. Look at this accuracy on that ES. Doesn't matter about the money. Today you make 100, tomorrow you make 200, the day after you lose 100, 200. It is about consistency, it's not about the amount. The consistency is more important than how much you will be making, because it depends on the market how it's going to be tomorrow. Nobody knows how the market, if this market tomorrow gonna run or is gonna get stuck in a channel. If the market gets stuck in a channel, there is no manual trade, There is no auto trade. There is nothing you can do for this market to make money if this market not moving, is not generating ticks. Where do you want to get the ticks from? It's not going to give you ticks. So as we see here on the ES, it's coming to the first minor resistance, and now is climbing to the final destination. Technically, that's mean you need to close this one here on the scalper. This is the advantage. Now it is finished. Okay, now this is the advantage here. You have a 3,625 on the ES, and you can see now this market is climbing. Why not closing it? You know, if you want to, or if you want to keep it, you can keep it, but you can close it because you can see it from that fib line is holding. Or if you wanted to look at the bigger picture, now look, the Russell is taking another trade. This is another example on the YM. You can see how the YM climbed exactly to the second trailing stop, the fib trailing stop, and it did go back down. And this is what really what matter. You have $550 in that trade, and you still have one contract on the YM. Some people, they cannot even make the 500 on the YM the whole week. So now we can, if this market go back to this fib line, you walk away with 500. If this market decide to take a drop and hit the target, then you're gonna walk away with 1,000. So for this technical side here, if you don't want to follow, the 15-second is too small for you. We can always look at the 1 minute. As you see, the 1 minute, I extended the target. If you go back to the video, I extended the target. The target was certain in the proper place, but I have extended a little bit farther down to see where is this market going. But the auto trade delivered to the target. So if I didn't mess with it, I would have closed at the target. But I was expecting this market to go a bit farther down, and it did not. So as we see here right now, this one here, the ES is done, and the CL is, and this one here is done, and the CL is taking a trade. So this one here, why we need to suffer with it, you can go on the top here and say close position. We close position, and there we go. We waited long enough on it. And if you don't want to mess with it, don't mess with it. But this one here, you just locked in your profit on 3,350. And there is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, gentlemen. And you're done for today. You are overdone for today. So this is a really good trade. And we are done with that trade here on the ES. Nasdaq again on the way up. We are on a look, guys, on the ES is not there is no long trade. There is a short re-entry point at 27.77 right there. This is a re-entry short, and here we're gonna go ahead and break even, taking some of the profit in case if this market start pulling back. And on this one here on the Russell, I'm gonna go ahead and secure some of the profit. I don't want it to because I cannot keep up with everything on the ES long, and I don't think so it's gonna make it, so I'm gonna secure it immediately for a free ride. And we have okay, this is we made money on the way down, and now we are secured on the way up, and we are done. I can see it on the ES. It's not going to hold immediately because this is the re-entry point at 27.78. But we secure it. CL, we can secure some of this profit. Russell is done trading. And we can secure some of the CL trade. We can hide behind this level. Let's give it a little bit to the next level, see if it's going to make it. On the NASDAQ, I'm going to take it a little bit here. We are on free ride with the NASDAQ. And you just sit down and manage the trade, folks. You just sit down and manage the trade. That's all what you need to do. This is a short entry from on the ES. It's not over. You have a support line at 27.66. Final destination again at 27.59. This is it on them. We're done. And then we still have the CL. We're going to go ahead and tight the profit on the CL. Behind the fib line, secure some of this profit. This is a re-entry point on the NASDAQ. Is right here, right now. 88.9950. We still have one more trade on the CL. This is the re-entry point on the re-entry short on the NASDAQ. And be careful with the NASDAQ. You have a projection at 88.7850. And then if we cross this projection at 88.7850, final destination, close position at 88.57. If you want to be aggressive, you can extend the target to 88.31. But now, because we have this projection, if you want to look at the ES, we are coming to this projection at 27.6675. If we cross that, if we are able to penetrate that number, the next stop, it will be 27.5850. We're going to tighten up the trailing stop on this one here and hide behind the double support area. There we go. Keep your eye on the NASDAQ on 88.7915, please. If we cross it, we are going to go down to the 88.56, 88.57. Apologize. On the ES, if you are still, you took that short from the re-entry point, keep your eye on the 27.6650. If we cross it, then you cash in on 27.59, please. We're not responsible for your trade. I hope you are on a sim. This is not a trading room. This is an educational room. Okay, we are done with the CL. Because we have sometimes on the YouTube a little delay from YouTube, not from us. We have a 0 delay, and sometimes we have a few second delay. So that's why we try to give you the numbers ahead of time, so you will be ready when they cross it. So now we are going back to the short. I don't trust this market, so we're gonna go ahead and drag it a little bit further. Immediately secure a profit. There we go. And we don't want to give too much on a stop loss on a day like this. You see where the ES, gentlemen, if you look at the blue chart, this is exactly what we have said. And look where the ES holding. You see, if we cross that area, that's why I told you to mark it. If we cross that area, the next area is 27.59.25. So it is very, very key on that one here. This is really advantage, guys. Can you imagine those amateur traders out there? They are lost right now. Look at this. You see what we told you? Everything we said, go back to the video. Everything we say, go back to the video. You confirm everything we said. Okay, we are done with those. That's why I didn't want to hold on to those trades. I make them very tight. So if the market drops, I'm with it. If the market turn around, I'm out of there with a minimum loss. Beautiful. Plus a tick or two for your broker. You get out of it. You wait for the next signal. That's it. Right now we have no trade anymore, and on the scalpers, and we are waiting on the next move in the market. Now what we do, if you are positioning yourself on the 1 minute, that's very fine. You can, it is over to the downside, and I don't see this market is gonna drop, because this projection 27.66.25, the market couldn't penetrate that number, and thus mean now it is finished with those trades. The YM also, the party is over. You know, guys, I cannot follow everything. It is extremely hard to be live and try to cover 20 million things in one time, and people chatting with you on the Skype and all this. But for you as an individual trader, you can chase the market better than I am, because you don't have 20 million things trying to cover in the same time. So now, as you see, when it was the market moving, it was plenty of money made, and now it is disaster trading. Now all trades hands off, and now you can see this market is running out of steam, and the market hit the target to the downside, went up to the re-entry point, and then it dropped a few ticks, and now it got stuck. If we look again, guys, go back to those videos. Always keep your eye on the re-entry point. The re-entry point is very well calculated. And we are using a minute. We're not using Renko bar. This is misleading, the Renko bar. Range. They are good, the range. I have nothing against the range takes. But the 1 minute give you precision. And as you see, the market came into the re-entry point, came into the fib line. I mean, the market is very clear what it's doing. There is no confusion here. And it's not hard to read what's going on. The market hit the target as expected, as the system expected, and it did. Then the market went back to the re-entry exactly as expected, and it did. Then it came into the projection, and we give you warning to the projection, and it did. And now coming back to the re-entry point, and this is the last time on the re-entry point. There's no more. The market tried to hit the re-entry point one time, two times, but you cannot keep banging on it all the time. You can take advantage of it on the first try and the second try when the market climb into the re-entry point. You can take advantage of it one time, two time max, but you cannot sit down and bang on it all night long on the re-entry point, because eventually on the third try, the market is going to break those re-entries. Cannot hold forever. So the first try, when the market climbed to your re-entry, you can use it as a re-entry point short one time, two times, but you cannot keep trying on it and then you leave it alone. Because the third time, most likely, the market is going to break those level, and now we are start thinking not short anymore. We are thinking long. As long as the market is below those numbers, you don't think long. You think short. Once this market break this number, take your hands off until we come in to the clear area, and then you take a long. Between this number here, if we look at the ES, this is the re-entry point. You can see how many times the ES is flirting with that number. And the same thing on the Nasdaq. It's the same story. It's keep coming and hitting the same number. This is your key in the market. Once this market break those keys and is coming to this potential danger area, where is those floor and fibs between this technical area, between this technical re-entry point and those floor and fibs, you should not be trading at all, because there is a good potential for this market to drop again. This is the most dangerous place to auto trade, manual trade, taking any trades. Those are the most dangerous area. And those poor guys, the ones they are using indicators, they have 20,000 indicator on the chart. They downloading all kind of junk, putting it on their chart, and they start diving in to the place where they need to be away from the market. And this is where 90% of the traders lose money in those areas. That's why the percentage is so high. Some traders are not making money manual trading because they're not reading the market. They are using indicators, following the market. When the market is going up, that ATR, that MACD, whatever, all those out-of-date indicators, they tell you the market is up. You can see it, the market is up. And when the market goes down, they say the market is down. They're not really predicting anything. And there is the scary part. This is the scary part. You trade in the future and your indicators based on the past. And it's not going to work. It will never work in the future trading. Because in the future trading, what happened here does not count. The only thing count in the future trading is the first bar to the right-hand side on the chart. This is the only bar matter. And what happened, anyone can see what happened after the fact. I don't need a brilliant trader to let us know what's going on after the fact. The problem is that first bar on the chart, it is the most important bar in the whole chart. And this is where we need to know where this bar going, which this destination is going, and what is the problem in the market before we start taking a trade. Let me show you an example. The auto trade took a signal on the YM, and this one here is one disaster trade. Immediately I can notify that is one disaster trade. Why it is one disaster trade? And I don't want it. I want to close it as soon as possible, minimize my stop loss on it. Why? If we look at the signal, it says a buy entry at 22,871. Okay. If we look, immediately I can see it's not going to do it. Why? We have a resistance line 2288. We have a resistance line 228.87. We have a resistance line 22.895. We have a projection line at 229. It's not going to make it. And I do not have confirmation with the ES. And now the ES trade. Now very soon you're going to have an ES signal going long. Do not follow that signal. Again, do not follow that signal. It's not going to make it. I know it's not going to make it. Why? If we look at the resistance here, we have a heavy resistance at 27.82.25. We have a heavy projection at 27.86.25. It's not going to make it. They are too close to each other. If I want to scalp the market, I will put a limited order above this line at 27.83 level. So right now, this market here, like what I have said before, once this market starts breaking those re-entry point and coming between that area here, it is the most dangerous area to trade, because there is a potential the market is going to sink again. And this area you should not auto trade, you should not manual trade, you should not even look at the market. You just stay away from it completely. And look what happened, what we are talking about. Everything we say, 8 out of 10, we nail. 8 out of 10 for many years on YouTube. We predict the market 8 out of 10. We never get wrong. 8 out of 10, we nail it. And this is a high number on the future trading. When you are sitting here live, predicting the market ahead of time, front of everybody. Nobody can do that. No one can come in live and predict the market ahead of time. They all come at night after the fact. After the fact doesn't say anything to me. I want it right now when it is hot and live market to come in and show your professional trading. As we see, like what we told you, when you cross this number here, is you're gonna deal with the floor and fibs, and because sometimes this market is going to sink, and that's exactly what happened. As you see, once we crossed this re-entry point, it came in one time, two times on the re-entry point, and then it was over. On the third time, the ES broke that re-entry point, and it fell on the floor and fibs, and there we go. So the market was false. This is all fake movement, and this one here, a trader should not be looking at it, because this is where a trap. The traders thinking the market is going long, and then they jump in on the wagon, and then what they do, those big movers, they go ahead and drag the market. They know most of your guys are between 15 and 20 ticks stop loss. Very easy. You can clean the house easily. Very easy. You know, the biggest tougher banana, maybe 25 ticks on any auto trade or any manual trade, no more than 25 ticks stop loss. They know that, and most of you are between 10 and 15 ticks. So by the time this market start going up, everybody jump on the wagon, and then the market sink, and there you go, your money vanished, it's gone. And because of lack of discipline, lack of experience. So now, as you see, we should not touch the market between the re-entry point and the floor and fibs. We have explained now for the last 10 minutes why you don't need to trade it. So as you see right now, this market on an idle, there is nothing anymore. Whoever traded and catch the trend earlier walked away with a few thousand, and now we are just sitting on neutral. There is nothing now here. What we have here is nothing but big mess, big trouble, So in the meantime, right now, there is nothing to do. I'm going to save my energy a little bit, and fresh coffee and all that. Excuse me. So I'm going to be quiet for a few minutes. Thank you. Be careful with the projection, 2785. Everything has changed now. Next level, 2792. On the NASDAQ, the target on the scalper is 8919. Be careful with the resistance on the ES at 2792. The Russell is about to hit the target. We're done with it. I'm not gonna, let me see. Okay, we have a double resistance. I'm gonna leave it as is. Now, if we look at the YM, we have a resistance at 23,009, and the target is 2321. So be careful with that. If you want to know what to do with the YM to our traders, look at the ES. We have 2792 level. This is a resistance line, and it's going to have an impact on your YM trade. 2792, it is the key right now in the market on the ES. If we are breaking it, we are hitting the target. If we're not breaking it, that means you need to cash in immediately on your scalping. The NASDAQ starts sinking in. We're going to break even immediately. And we're going to go ahead and start tightening up everything. I'm going to leave the Russell as is. There is a support area here. If the Russell break that support area, that means it's coming back to the 1202. For the gold, there is not much movement on the gold today. I'm not taking any trades on the gold, but we have a lot of people taking trades on the gold. I'm not dealing with the gold today. So you see, look at this. The market came into the 2792 and fired the reversal. Those reversal are not repaint reversal. Again, those are not. Most of the people selling the reversal, and they are a repaint reversal. They're not. Our reversal is not a repaint. It stays where it says reversal on it. And as you see, when the market came into this fib line, it fired a reversal. Is right there. I don't know if you can see that on a YouTube, but there is a reversal, and now the market starts sinking in. This means the Russell now, as you see, broke that line. This projection was a resistance, now become a support area. If we are breaking this projection, this means the party is over with those trades. This is a very, very key on this projection. The projection is 2786.25. If we break that number, that means this market sinking in to the re-entry point. So the NASDAQ is done. And I secure a little bit more on the YM. And the Russell started breaking, broke the first trade and cash in on the first trade. I'm going to leave the next one, hoping that this YM is going to go back up again and testing the 2791. I'm gonna secure it. This one is finished. Let's look on the other auto trade what we have accomplished today. On the YM 1 minute, we nailed 1100. It's very easy. You can use 1 minute, 2 minutes for aggressive trading, 3 minutes, 4 minutes medium, and 5 minutes for conservative trading. This is it. No Renko bar, no tick chart, no range, no line break, whatever that is. And just straightforward minutes, aggressive, medium, and conservative. This is it. You can use 1 contract, 2 contracts, 3 contracts, 4, whatever you like. On the ES, 31.75. NASDAQ, this is the number 10 template, 1230. This is a very nice. Everybody is using this template. What you can do, if you want to go for one more round, you right click, reload, and now we are gonna go with the next round, and we will see how it's gonna. So we're gonna go one more round on the NASDAQ. I don't mind to go on the template 10. Everybody have it, our traders. The ES and NASDAQ to go second round. There is nothing wrong with it. You can keep going with it on the second round. Third round, why not? We are done with that trade, and there is no more trades. As we said, once this ES across the projection, that means the market is sinking back to the re-entry point. Again, the ES is trying to break that 2792. This is the second try on the 2792, guys. Look at this. If we break the 2792, that's mean we are hitting the target at 2790, no big deal. There we go. As we said, as we planned, and we're about to hit this one here. We're still missing 1 point on that one. It's like going to the dentist. Okay, there we go. Done. Sold. Okay. So in 1 hour time, less than 1 hour time, we have accomplished what some amateur traders cannot do in 1 month, in 1 hour. This is the power of trading. Once you know what you are doing in the market, that is power, and we're done. We maximized everything. There is no regret on anything. The only thing I regretted on the YM on the last trade, I was not expecting this YM breaking all that numbers, but it did. We missed out on the YM. I closed it. The auto trade took it, but I closed it. I didn't believe it's gonna go, and it did. But the rest, we are okay on it. And on the scalper, right now we are about to close that trade on the scalper, and there is no trade on the scalper except this one here. On the ES, there is no trade. On the NASDAQ, there is no trade. And on the YM, there is no trade. So the only thing left is a little money on the Russell. There we go. Finished. Done. Gentlemen, we are done for today in less than 1 hour. I want to say thank you very much. And please be safe for your family and your kids. And we will see you tomorrow, Friday, on the same channel. God bless you all, and see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Bye for now.